everybody. Dave here for Dave Gets Wood for video 1 of the bookshelf. So I'm just clearing a few bits of shit off the table. Okay, yeah, so got this bookshelf. I've had this bookshelf here for a while. Sister-in-law's bookshelf that she had when she was a kid, and I don't know the full story, but I believe my brother wanted to get rid of it, wanted to throw it away. Angela didn't want to throw it away. So, because I mean, to be fair, it's a decent, sturdy little bookshelf. Ideal for kids. Well, ideal. I mean, to be fair, I was using it. I was using it as a storage shelves for some of my stuff, which I've actually had to go out and get myself another little bookshelf to take place of this, so that I can actually do this. So yeah, so one of the things that happened when Angela was young was left a hot iron on here. So kind of burnt through the varnish on it. Excuse me. Now there's a couple of things about this particular bookshelf that it's quite interesting. So I said I've had it a while, because I did say to Andrew, it says, look, I'll do it. I don't know when I'll get to do it, but I'll do it. And Martin doesn't know, but I did ask Andrew if she wants it back when I've done it. She said yes. So okay, no problem. Now, interestingly, if I'd have done this straight away when I received it, I would have fucked it up, because I recently learnt something that I didn't know, and had I not learnt that and done this in the way I would have thought of doing it, then I would have ruined it. Basically, if I'd have taken a power sander to this set of shelves, I would have ruined them, and I wouldn't have known I was going to be ruining them. Now I'm going to try and explain why it would be that I would have ruined it, and excuse me, I'm really dehydrated today, or at least I'm feeling really thirsty, so I've been drinking quite a bit. I'm a bit gassy. When I say drinking a bit, I'm not on beer. Okay, so the main thing to know about this particular bookcase is that even though it's solid and sturdy and it's got a nice pattern of grain on it, it is a veneer bookshelf. Now, up until about a month ago, I wouldn't have known what that meant. I would have had to check. But I just happened to stumble across a Gilboys video. You may have heard me mention about them a long time ago. Not watched any of their videos for a while. One of them popped up about a month ago, and it was kind of doing a table similar to the first little table that I'd worked on, and it was talking about veneers. And so I learned stuff during that video where I was like, oh, okay, that's very handy to know, because basically with a veneer, basically what it is, okay, let's say for example this piece of wood here, it would appear that this piece of wood is what, 1.5 centimetres thick? Well, it is, but it's actually a piece of wood which is then got on top of it a very, very thin layer of wood, right? Which is what is called the veneer. And at first look, it's not necessarily easy to tell. Now, looking at this in a little more detail, it's instantly noticeable. And what I'm going to try and do with this particular bookshelf is show you how I was able to go, oh, hang on a minute, and then if anybody else in the future happens to be doing stuff, you'll know. Because like I say, taking a power sander to this will ruin it. Now, I don't know whether the iron on it will have not necessarily ruined it, but damaged the veneer. It may have done, but at least it hasn't been sanded. So when it comes to actually dealing with this, what I am actually going to do is I'm going to take this apart completely, alright, completely dismantle it, and I'm going to treat each piece individually. Well, I'm going to deal with it all together, but individually. And I'm going to use chemicals to strip the finish off it, because it's the only way to do it. Strip the finish off it without damaging the veneer, and then we can restain it and the veneer will take a step. Okay, let's see if I can. Okay, a couple of ways of being able to tell straight away whether you're working with a veneer or solid proper wood is, for example, okay, on here there is a particular pattern of grain. Okay, it kind of, I can see the pattern going up and down and up and down, and it gets longer, and then there's straights going up. But if we then look on the inside, which should be identical pretty much, or close enough to it, because at the end of the day, if it was the same piece of wood, then that grain goes all the way through the wood, right? Okay. But on the inside, not only is it a slightly different colour, but it's more like big long strips next to each other. There isn't the up and down loopy pattern. It's more like 4 strips of wood have been put together. Let's see if I can, I mean they haven't been, but it's just the effect of the wood. Okay, so yeah, so you can see how coming across, like you've got this big strip and this big strip. So it's very different. So that's one way of knowing that this isn't a normal piece of wood, because it's different on one side to the other. Now, for example, it's similar on the shelves. So on the top of the shelf there's a lovely pattern, but underneath the shelf it doesn't match. But not only that, on the shelf itself, the front face is different to the top, because if it was all one piece of wood it would again match. But same with this bottom shelf and this top shelf, there is a line across the top. So the top has had a single piece of veneer put on, and then there has been another piece of veneer put on the front. And it's the same for every piece of wood on this particular unit. Excuse me. Now what I will say is, this isn't just a cheap and nasty bookshelf, by the way. Just because something is veneered doesn't mean it's cheap and nasty. Whatever wood this is, it's fucking heavy. But I also want to mention that another telltale sign, this little sneaky is, okay, so this is the top of the upright and this is the shelf. Let's see if you can, okay, yeah, you can just about see the line going across there and across there as well. But okay, so this is the top of the upright, which its grain is going this way, which doesn't match the grain on the side here. So that's another way of telling. But also, just here, there is a separation, which would make you think that either that bit or this bit is a separate piece of wood. Okay, cool, no problem. But if it is, where's the bit here where it connects to? There isn't one, and there isn't one on the other side. So excuse me, a lot of telltale signs of it being a veneer bookshelf. Okay, and actually I've just spotted something else which I hadn't seen before. On the back here is a bit of veneer, but below that there isn't veneer, right? And I can actually see the actual wood, and it would appear that it is some kind of very dense chipboard, which is normal. From what I learned from the Girl Boys video, it is not unusual. I really love that one. It is not unusual for some furniture to have some sort of chipboard wood used with a veneer on top. Like I said, it doesn't necessarily make it any cheaper. Now on the back, this is a piece of wood which doesn't have any veneer on it or anything. However, I am going to be taking that off because I'm going to deal with that as well. Now that could be sanded, but to be honest, I'll probably just use a chemical on it, and then it'll be clean. Okay, so the plan then for this set of shelves, as I was kind of mentioning, is to take it apart. And I'm not going to be looking at upgrading anything or repairing anything. I mean, the shelves are held in by chocolate blocks, as I call them. I don't know what the real name is, it might be it. Now I do have newer ones of those, so there's one here that I can see is a bit damaged, and there's another one over there that's a bit damaged, so I may replace some of the chocolate blocks. But I did think about replacing them with a piece of wood, but then I was like, well no, that means having to line up holes, drill new holes, fill holes. Fuck it, I'll just go with what we've got now. There may be some holes that I might need to deal with, I've just seen in here, but I can deal with that a little better once I've taken it apart. So that's going to be the first thing the second thing for me to do. The first thing I'm going to need to do is to photograph this in detail, because I have no idea how long it will be until I've no idea how long it will be to the point where I'm putting this back together. And if there's anything I learned from doing my own shelves, was that if I didn't have a photograph to show me, right, that's definitely the shelf that goes there, then it's a fucking pain in the arse. Because although these shelves may look the same, the holes may be in slightly different positions, and if that's the case, there's a ball ache. So I'm going to photograph it and see what I can see from that. Then we'll start with dismantling it. Now, one of the things I was thinking of doing with this particular series on this bookshelf, because there shouldn't be loads of power sanding or anything like that, I'm more than likely not going to fast forward the videos. I've been doing a lot of fast forwarding on recent videos, but that's because I'm doing a lot of stuff with power tools. But I'm hoping to have a bit of time without the use of big power tools, because I think my airways need that. But also, just before Christmas, I did literally have to vac down every single surface in here, down my stairs. I've even attempted to clean out the cupboard. I've still got clothes to clean that could have got a bit dusty from there. So yeah, I could do without having to do that again soon. So what I'm hoping to be able to do is work on this, get this done, and then after that we'll see. It's either going to be my table or well, I say my table, could be the radio, because still got a backlog. Got my table, got the radio, still got my headset bus to do. I've still been working on some coasters. I tried doing some new coasters recently for Christmas, and they were so close to perfect, but unfortunately didn't quite work, so it was a bit annoying. So what else have I got? I'm sure there's something else. Oh yeah, there's the other cabinet that I've got to do as well. So I need to try and sort of do things and get things done and sort of get them out really, because it's like with my dining table. Once I've done my table, I can actually put it into use rather than my dining table taking up space on top of my dining table. So yeah, right. Anyway, I'm going to stop waffling and we'll make a start on this.